All right, let's jump right in. If you're a top-tier candidate out there hunting for an environment that will literally test the very limits of your professional sanity, well, you've hit the jackpot. Welcome to our highly immersive recruitment explainer for the Bureaucratic Overhead Administration. Today, we're taking you on a tour of our world-class elite workplace. We pride ourselves on pushing talent to the absolute edge through, let's just call them highly specialized methodologies. Let's take a look at what your new daily routine is going to look like. So, get a load of this cutting-edge workspace. We completely reject the idea of comfort here. We are all about conditioning. See that harsh, blinding sunlight just blasting directly into the cubicles? Yeah, that's for your natural photosynthesis. Plus, it ensures you can never quite spot management creeping up on you. And hey, if you look up at the airspace, you're going to see our automated drones. They'll just be buzzing right over your head all day long, dropping off these massive 100-column tracking spreadsheets. It's this intensely sensory-rich vibe designed to keep you hyper-alert, literally all the time.
Section 1. Exciting daily challenges. Spontaneous agility drills.
Okay, let's see how these drills actually play out for our top performers. Meet Mega Lice. She's one of our brilliant developers. Now, Mega Lice carries this incredibly massive critical workload. But, to keep her grounded, management regularly accuses her of only doing the quote-unquote simplest of things. Oh, and it gets better. Every single time management completely fails to comprehend the most basic IT concepts, Mega Lice gets repeatedly accused of not explaining things correctly. It's just this fantastic, ongoing drill in patience and totally unearned guilt. Next up, we have Robert. Now, Robert gets to experience the absolute thrill of our access-restricted environment drills. Just imagine this. You're tasked with these critical system updates, right? Only to discover out of nowhere that your access to vital digital workspaces has been completely yanked. Specifically, his access to the Pure One Administrator production server, plus the Stage SQL server for the eCerts project, just gone. And the kicker? Nobody ever notified him. He was suddenly just stuck with read-only access and had to figure it out completely on his own. Talk about problem-solving on the fly. And the drills for Robert, they just keep coming. For that same eCerts project, management ordered him to use a dev SQL server. They even created databases specifically for him to use. But, and honestly, this is the genius twist, they never actually gave him access to them. Literally zero access. Then, fast forward to September 20, 2023. Robert's superuser rights in the EcoTrace system production application abruptly slashed to read-only. And eventually, he'd find himself with read-only rights in the UAT and development environments too. It is an absolute masterclass in learning how to work when you aren't actually allowed to work. Which brings us to what I like to call the ultimate mystery challenge. Picture this, July 25th, 2025. Robert is confronted with this totally baffling scenario. Management falsely accuses him of distributing a database script to an end user. But wait, here's the best part. The contents of the script were entirely unknown. He had to literally defend himself against a phantom script. Honestly, it's the ultimate test of deductive reasoning. Section 2. Dynamic Project Management. Unpredictable innovation. Get this. We once forced Robert, along with some end users and external vendors, to sit through 9 long, grueling working sessions for the eCerts project. But plot twist, they didn't actually discuss eCerts. Nope. Management hijacked these massive meetings just to talk about this entirely unrelated spreadsheet called ISIS. And the absolute punchline here? Not only was this ISIS spreadsheet completely ignored for the eCerts project, it was never actually used for any project at all. It's just total, unadulterated time-wasting perfection. See, we're fiercely dedicated to strategic workflow delays, because honestly, why let a project finish on time? To make absolutely sure that doesn't happen, management will toss in completely useless requirements, like demanding document versioning to purposely delay work. Or they'll arbitrarily order developers, like our guy Rambert, to just merge his migration databases right out of nowhere. This completely forces him to rework all his procedures, effectively delaying his work for months. It's a real game changer for killing productivity. Oh, and we absolutely cannot forget administrative agility. You might think timesheets are normally due at the end of a pay period, right? Not here. Management will just randomly decide to make staff submit their timesheets 2 to 3 weeks early. Just look at these dates, June 30, 2025 and May 19, 2026. Try predicting what you're going to be working on 3 weeks in the future. It really keeps the whole team incredibly nimble. Now let's shift gears and look at Chevron. Chevron enjoys this highly unique organizational perk of mastering unearned blame. So, in a meeting with management, Chevron gets aggressively and completely falsely accused of failing to finish the Dykes safety data migration. The catch here? That migration had already been 100% completed days earlier by someone else entirely, an intern named Mo. Getting yelled at for someone else's successfully finished work? That's just part of the elite conditioning here, folks. But hey, Chevron's opportunities for personal growth definitely didn't stop there. He also gets to navigate the exhilarating challenge of the phantom PDFs. Management falsely accused Chevron of failing to even start, let alone finish his assignment to convert 43 PDFs. But in reality, he'd already finished every single one of them over the weekend. The timestamp files were literally just sitting right there in the shared folder for anyone to see. But checking folders is just way too easy. We much prefer to rely on baseless accusations.
All right, next up we have Reverie Wonder. He faces this very exciting challenge we like to call calendar illusions. First, Reverie gets falsely accused by management of failing to accept meeting invites, even though he totally had accepted them. Then, he gets falsely accused of failing to place his approved leave on a shared team calendar. And the absolute best part? His leave was sitting right there on the calendar, perfectly visible to everyone. It's like a magic trick, but with HR.
And that brings us to, honestly, one of our most breathtaking management maneuvers. So Reverie was a key developer on the Mercury and Schools is Bad project. But then just weeks, literally weeks before the critical go-live date, management abruptly removes him from the whole project. Why? Well, to force him to stop helping with the launch and instead write a book report detailing what he did for the project. A report that, I kid you not, literally nobody has ever read. Now that is what we call dynamic agility.
Section 3. Meet the mastermind, the visionary behind the chaos.
So, you're probably wondering, who exactly is orchestrating all of this? Well, meet the Pointy-Headed Manager, or PHM for short. She is the middle management architect behind every single false accusation, useless spreadsheet, access removal, and workflow delay that we've gone over today. From keeping staff trapped in those useless 9-hour meetings we talked about, to just secretly yanking production access without a word, she ensures this entire culture of blame and mind-boggling bureaucracy operates at absolute peak efficiency.
Her whole leadership philosophy is just perfectly summed up by this one quote. She actually used this line to justify scrambling developer spreadsheets while they were actively typing in them. Static data is dead data. Wild, right? She doesn't just manage people, she curates these chaotic, entirely unpredictable experiences just to make sure you never ever feel secure in your technical environment. It's a brilliant strategy to protect her own technical ignorance while immediately cascading every ounce of liability directly onto you.
Section 4. The final pitch. Join the elite.
All right, you've seen the blinding glare, you've heard all about the missing server access, the phantom scripts, and those unread go-live book reports. So, as a top-tier candidate looking at this perfectly unpredictable, totally blame-centric workspace, I need you to look me dead in the eye and answer our mandatory closing question. Are you ready to take one for the team?